Morning. Happy Friday. So we're pulling from this deck this morning, Goddess Guidance Oracle Cards by Doreen Virtue. And I shuffled before I got on camera. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. 6 cards that fell out here, and let's see. Ooh, Saraswati. For birds. Express yourself through creative activities. I'm getting, they want you to pick out like a guitar maybe, or take some lessons. Maybe if you like drums, take some drumming lessons or guitar lessons. Do something what you always wanted to do when you were little and you couldn't do it, and now you have the time to do it. That's what you need to do. That's because you're creative, you know what I mean? Whoever's watching. Second card. Hathor. Egyptian. Ooh, I like Egyptian. Allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition energy and ability to give to others. You know, sometimes we don't want to take from others, you know, and we need to learn how to receive. I have that issue. I'm a giver, not a taker. When people give me something, I'm happy, but I don't want nothing from anybody. No. If I want something, I get it on my own. I'm always cautious about that because I don't know what kind of energy they're giving it to me with. Just saying. Boundaries. Love yourself enough to say no to others. Demands on your time and energy. Learn when to say no and learn when to say yes. You gotta have boundaries, you know? You don't have boundaries, it messes everything up, you know? You're not balanced when you don't have boundaries, you know? Learn to say no. Just learn to say no. You know? It's important. Because if you keep on saying yes, 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 in the long run, it's going to affect you. It might not affect the other person, but in the long run, you'll get burned out, you know? You'll get burned out. That happened to me recently. I was working like 21 days straight every month, and then on my days off, I was working more, and then we were short at work, and I was working 21 days straight, 16-hour shifts for many months, 6 or 7 months, and then on my days off, I would work my other jobs. I didn't know how to say no. I had no boundaries, I think. Just unbalanced, working, and then I got hurt. Not at work, though, but I got hurt. Yep, hurt as in got burned out. Get burned out. It's not a good thing. Bast. B-A-S-T. Independent. Egyptian. Ooh, I like Egyptian cards. Your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. Yeah. Never depend on anybody, you know. I gotta tell you, one time when I was married to a loser, it wasn't even a real marriage, you know. He came home one day, he said, we were gonna get married like real people do, like, you know, go to the church, but he did it on paper. He said, we were talking about it, and then he says, my supervisor is a notary. He signed our paperwork, babe. We're married. I'm like, what? That's what he did in Florida. So it wasn't even a real marriage. It was a dull marriage. What the hell you call it, you know? I was so pissed. When I had signed the initial, but not the secondary paperwork. And if I had not signed the secondary paperwork, we wouldn't have been married, but I just wasn't thinking. You know, my mom was dying. I was like, okay, fine. She'll be happy now. But no, big mistake. And so talk about independence. And then during the marriage, I was working. He wasn't working as much. And then I hurt my elbow and I had to have elbow surgery. And then I told him that he had to pick up the bills because, you know, I can't always pick up the bills. Because if I'm not working, how am I going to pick up the bills, right? So he got mad at me. I'm like, what do you mean? You got money. He always said he had child support and stuff like that, you know. And it was a big mess. And I was helping him pay his child support before I had to have elbow surgery. And he was not even saving his other money that he didn't tell me about. It was a big mess, you know. He got mad. Why did I ask him for money? I'm your wife, and the money was for bills. It's not like it was for your hair, you know. And the first time I depended on somebody, the first time I ask you to pay the fucking bills, you say no. That's why. Never depend on no motherfucker. That's my story. Yep. That's my story. I was just married for 22 months. It wasn't even a real marriage. And I told him to get the fuck out. Because you are showing me your true colors. You know? And this motherfucker I'm talking to you about, he had no boundaries with his mom. That bitch had no boundaries. Nope. I'm so happy I was out of that marriage. The best day was when I filed for divorce. And guess what? This motherfucker was hired by my sister too. Because he wanted my house. He didn't want to sign the divorce paperwork because he wanted me to give him my house. You fucking believe that? He refused to sign the paperwork. And then I found out he had a house under his name already. I was like, what? Which he never told me about. And he got it from his first marriage. My God, what do you know about that? Anyways, that's why I never depend on anybody. Never. Because once you depend on somebody, they fuck you up. Be independent. Either if you're a he or a she, if you're a man or a woman. Always be independent because you don't know when people change their fucking colors. And if you're in a marriage, it should be together though. You know what I mean? That should be an understanding. You know? Like if he couldn't pick it up, I would pick it up, but I was doing it all the time. You know, I was helping him. And then when I got sick, he couldn't. So after I got my surgery, I had to go back to work in 4 days. You know? And he left me with stitches and all that. But he didn't leave me. I kicked his ass out when I had stitches on my elbow. Because I'm a badass bitch. And this day, today, he's suffering. Oh yeah, because he did this to many ladies I had no idea about. But I found out because Divine told me. Well, I'm telling you this story, I don't know. I'm just telling you when I saw that card, it made me think about the first time I depend on somebody for 2 weeks to just pick up the slack, and you can't do that, and you fight with me about it. Then you cheat on me on top of it. That ain't gonna work. No. So yeah, you gotta be independent, you know, because you don't know what happens, you know. People feel like some men think that these men are not divine masculines. These men are just regular men. They would get married and be like putting their wives down if the wife is home taking care of the children, and then they would think like they're the bread maker, whatever you call it. But it has to balance out, you know. But it wasn't balanced. So even not having boundaries, if you don't have any boundaries, you're not balanced. Learn how to say no when you need to say no, and learn how to walk away when you need to walk away. You know? So yeah, independence. Let's read that again. Your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. That's right. Yep. Mother Mary. I love you, Mother Mary. Look. She's so beautiful. Have faith that your prayers have been heard and are being answered. Expect a miracle. Ooh. I think somebody's having a baby out here. It's a surprise baby, but and you might be in your 40s. That's okay. If God wants to give you something, then you should accept it. White Tara. You are becoming increasingly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships, environments, situations, and chemicals. Ooh. Yeah. Chemicals, yeah. You know? Avoid chemicals. The other day I wore a little bit of perfume and I was like, oh my God, it smells good, but I was not feeling good. It was a really good one too. I was like, maybe I shouldn't use it anymore. I was feeling dizzy after I put a little bit on. I'm like, oh. So, avoid harsh relationships, yeah. Cut them out. If you know the energy don't match, I know how to cut them out. I just walk away. See ya. Don't want to be you, because if you can't match your energy to me, I can't deal with that. You're becoming increasingly sensitive, yeah. All right, guys. I only have time for that this morning. I hope you guys have a good Thursday. I think I said it was Friday, but it's Thursday. I wish it was Friday, but it's not. So, hope this reading resonated. These were really nice cards that I haven't used for a while. I'm glad I took them out. I have all my cards in the bag, and then I just put my hand in there. I'm like, okay, which one, Jesus? And I got this one. So yeah, let's do one more by Jesus. Where's my other cards at? There they are. Before I leave. Grace for each day. Let's see what we got here, guys. Oh, okay, we'll do two, Jesus. He said two. Shout for joy to God, all the earth. The Lord is my strength and shield. I trust him with all my heart. He helps me and my heart is filled with joy. I burst out in the songs of thanksgiving. This is my favorite one. Yep. Yep. Let's read it again. The Lord is my strength and shield. I trust him with all my heart. He helps me and my heart is filled with joy. I burst out in songs of thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. Psalm 28:7. Yep. And it's funny, I was thinking about this card, and I got it this morning. And the Lord is your strength. He's your strength. Nobody else is your strength. He is your strength. He gives you that strength to go on in any situation, you know? Remember that. We've all been through a lot of trials, tribulations, and I always mention this, but we've all been through it. But we had to go through it. We had to. If we had not had gone through it, then we would not be who we are today. Sometimes God want to test you. Sometimes God want to show you, you know. He wants to show you, you know. Because, you know, God's always not going to give you, like, here you go. Like, if you ask him for something, right? And, like, let's say if you ask him for something, right? And he just gives it to you, like, okay, here. You want respected. But if you ask him for something, he's going to make you wait for it and you have patience for it and you know he's going to give it to you. But on his time, you're going to respect it more. You understand? It's like you've earned it because you waited and he's going to give you a bigger amount. But if you just ask him for something and you expect him to give it to you, and if he does give it to you just like that, you're never going to respect it and you're not going to treasure it. Do you understand? You know, just like if you're asking for to be in a good relationship, if you're asking for a good man, or if you're asking for a good woman, I'm going to use this as an example, and you just think that God's going to give you a good man or a good woman right away. No, he's going to make you wait. You know, because he wants you to work on yourself, and he wants the other person to work on themselves too. He unites you, whoever he needs to unite you with. He's in control. So if you're waiting on somebody right now, I mean, you don't even know who they are, that's fine. You don't have to know who they are. God knows who they are. And God will send him or her to you because you've asked him, right? You asked him. But if he just gives it to you, like if he gives you a good man, like, here you go, a good woman, here you go, you're not going to respect that person because you didn't wait. But when you wait for if you have patience and God will just give you, when you waited, then kaboom, perfect. You know what I mean? In a good way. So he can't just give you just like that. He's going to give you in his timing, not your timing. So if you're waiting on something, either it's a job, a good relationship, or anything, a house, I don't know, he's in control. He's going to give you on his timing, but you still need to ask him, right? But you still don't get mad at him though. You might be waiting for 20 years for a good person. I don't know. You might be waiting forever for somebody, or you might be waiting forever for your dreams to come true. But do you have faith in him this morning to believe in him fully 100%? Have faith, blind faith without sight. You know, when I was homeless back in the day, I knew God was going to find me a place, and it wasn't going to be right away. I had to wait a long time to get my place. You know, my own place. Yeah. I was homeless for a minute. I was. And I can't blame anybody for that, only myself, because I was around toxic energy and I left. And I didn't know who they were. When I walked away from them, then I knew. I had to go through that. And I'm happy now. I'm safe now. And you've probably heard from many of my videos about this, but I don't want to bring it up right now. But yeah. So you got to wait on him. Only he, like we're talking about, only he, you get his strength from him. You don't get your strength from people, though. You get your strength from him. Only from him. Okay? Thank you.